And speaking of not being ready for the big time, I feel so bad for this guy. Ridge Holland against Danny Burch was the next match. And we've seen Ridge Holland over the past couple weeks. He's big, he's thick, he's athletic. We said he's greener than a pepper tree, but he's got a ton of potential. And they've been using him here recently. And this match wasn't bad because Burch is, you can tell he's got more experience, and he's also got a level he's going to hit. He's a kind of a short, not a particularly impressive physique, bald-headed guy, but he can work. He would have been a good upper mid-card guy in the territories. He would have always been employed because you can plug him into shit, and he's a journeyman, right? And so this was to shine Ridge Holland. It was short and a convincing win like it should have been because Ridge is green. And don't have him do too much complicated shit. Just have him look impressive. Then Ridge Holland starts getting more heat on Danny Burch, and that's when Oney Lorcan comes out. And I don't know what they had planned for going forward next week or where they were going with this. But Ridge Holland gets on Lorcan and gets some green heat on him. Then the referees come in. Remember, it just depends. One week the referees will come in on a hangnail, and the other week they won't come in on a goddamn armed kidnapping. The fake boos got turned up. Lorcan got up after getting the shit kicked out of him as the referees were getting Ridge Holland out of there and did a dive over the top rope on Ridge. Okay, boom, and had a slap fight with him. Did you see that when Ridge Holland takes the dive but then throws Lorcan back in the ring and he gets back in and Lorcan is slap fighting him? Because can nobody throw a punch anymore? All these forearms and slaps. So Ridge Holland stops him again and leaves the ring again, and Lorcan goes for another dive. Meanwhile, poor old Danny Burch had just been laying there for a while. Lorcan goes for another dive, and Holland catches him, and his fucking ankle just snaps. And he drops, and he starts screaming. And they never even shot him on camera again till they went to the break. Everybody thinks that I think that the dives are stupid just because of the guy diving over the top rope and going to go head first or going to land or going to kill himself or whatever. But dives are stupid for both parties. It was the WWF pay-per-view in Louisville. I think it was probably in 96, I believe. But it was Brian Christopher versus Scott Putski. They were going to push. Obviously, Brian Christopher was Lawler's son. Scott Putski was Ivan Putski's son. He had just come in. They were going to push him. In some respect, not huge. And Brian Christopher does the tope where he just vaults over the top and they catch the guy. Is that a tope or whatever the fuck it? Point is, he jumps over the top rope. Crossbody Scott Putski, who catches him and tore his fucking quad muscle right off the bone. And down he dropped right there, and that was it. And that was it for him and the company. It's almost more dangerous because everybody's worried about catching the idiot that's fucking diving off the roof so he won't kill himself. But think about this. You're standing down there, especially when a guy's catching a guy all by himself. In a group of people, it may even be more dangerous because you can't predict whose arms and legs and elbows and knees and fists and everything are going to go somewhere. But you've got a guy coming at a high rate of speed, either off the top rope or over the top with a flip or fucking whatever, a double twist with a pike, coming down from 10 or 12 or 15 feet on you, and you're going to catch them. Where's their elbow going? Where's their knees going? That weight multiplied with the force of gravity, do the fucking math. I'm not that smart in my head. It's a lot of fucking danger for the guy catching to be doing these spots in every fucking match multiple times that don't even register anymore, that nobody remembers, that doesn't make a fuck, except that the boys go in the back and fucking jack each other off. Hey, did you see my dive? That's the only reason it has to be. Because the guys that I was in the locker room with 30 years ago would be scoff laughing at these fucking idiots for taking chances on TV matches against fucking job guys. Catching is dangerous too. But apparently nobody teaches them that in wrestling school these days. Do you want to send your thoughts and prayers out to poor old Ridge Holland, who's probably fucked now for fucking months to come?
I felt bad because it's awkward when you hear someone scream the way he was screaming.
Oh, because I'll tell you what, that was fucking bad. Right off. Stacy did that.
Are you sure it was his ankle? I thought it was his knee when I was watching it. I
thought it was his fucking ankle because his fucking foot was turned a way that it shouldn't have been turned if he was laying. He took his right leg and hooked it up under his left leg like that I've done when I've hurt my knee and tried to fucking, take some pressure off of it. But it looked like his foot was turned at a weird angle. I don't know. Maybe you can look that up.
Yeah, no, I just looked it up. It was his ankle.
All right, well, thank you. There you go. Not a bad eye on Cornette after all these years.
We always criticize, and fans of modern wrestling sometimes don't like that we do that. There are too many dives. Everyone does dives. They do them in the opening match. They do it in the main event. And here's an example where, did it need a dive? Does anyone give a shit about what was happening there?
The second one?
Just what was the point of it? What was the point of it? A dive should mean something.
They were trying to put Holland over as a big badass. We know that because just as soon as the announcers had said, "Can anything stop Ridge Holland?" he's down on the ground screaming and people are calling an ambulance. So apparently something can. Maybe he was going to catch the guy and fucking power him and do something else, but it was too much. Too much. That's all I'm saying.
I guess my point is, so many guys are getting hurt. I watch Mid-South Wrestling with Mike Mills on the podcast, like we talked about earlier. That's a pretty physical style of wrestling.
It was. And every night of the week in the houses, too. And you couldn't fucking slack off because Grizzly would fucking let you know about it.
And there isn't just a rash of guys going down for weeks or months at a time with injuries.
No.
Jim Crockett Promotions. And those were harder rings, too.
Yes.
All these places. And now it's just every episode of every show, NXT and AEW, someone gets hurt.
I was about to say a minute ago, this ankle thing, Stacy in her wrestling days, 22 or 3 years ago, in a fucking bar in California somewhere on an outlaw show, did as simple as a thing as a double sledge off the apron of the ring on this whoever the fuck she was going to hit, right? But landed where people had spilled drinks and snapped her fucking ankle. One way, sideways. And broke it. And then, because she was green and didn't know what to fucking do, and the match was still going on because she was just the manager, she stood there while the rest of the match went on until finally she was supposed to come in the finish and hit a guy with a chair. And she slides in and limps, and when she put the weight on the bad ankle to fucking swing the chair forward, it broke the other way. And she had to have surgery and pins that she still has, pins and screws she still got in there, put in the ankle. And she was a girl that weighed about half as much as Ridge Holland and didn't have fucking hundreds of pounds coming down on her. So I don't know how bad this guy may be fucked up. But why? And then on the other side of the break, they replayed the ankle breaking, which once again, I didn't mind them replaying my fucking, ACL tear off the scaffold every day for years and years. Because if you're going to get hurt, at least get it on tape. But they spent the whole previous segment making this guy out to be an unstoppable monster and what a fucking heel and a prick. And then they show him going out on a stretcher giving the fucking thumbs up. Don't show this. Don't show this. Now you've that poor guy. Come back and say, folks, I don't know what's going on, but that Ridge Holland, he was screaming in pain, but he got back up and shoved the referees off and limped out of here. And next week, you show the fucking x-ray. You announce the break. This guy left under his own power with a broken ankle. This guy's insane. We don't know how long he'll be out. He may come back sooner than we think because what a beast. Don't goddamn carry him off the field to the fucking thumbs up Round of applause for Joe Theismann. Fucking hell.
I hate when the commentators all of a sudden get the hush tone.
Oh, yes. That's especially shootish. That's when you know it's really a shoot.
Gordon Soley never did that.
Well, Gordon Soley was hushed and deep at the same time. And the knee across the prefrontal lobe. He wasn't yelling, but he had that Gordon Soley voice. But they just sound like they're fucking, calling ladies golf. I don't know. Anyway, poor Ridge Holland. Don't dive. Just don't do dives.
Until it means something.
Okay.
If it means something, do a dive. But just as a throw-in.
Well, let's not bog down here because this is going to be a recurring theme.